Watch Mr. Wizard. That's what all the kids in the neighborhood call him, because he shows them the magic and mystery of science in everyday living.
Mr. Wizard?
Oh, hi, Phil. Come on in.
Hi, Mr. Wizard. Close the door. What are you doing?
Well, I'm looks like making 4th of July or New Year's sparklers.
Looks like Happy New Year, huh?
Well, here, let me, I'll dump it all out. Look out. I'm going to dump it all out, say. Because, run around here, I want you to look at these bottles, because I got that powder that I was sprinkling into this blowtorch from one of these bottles, see?
Flour, cornstarch, sugar.
Lycopodium, right?
Wow, powdered coal, zinc dust, and powdered iron.
Yes. Now, which one do you think I was sprinkling on the thing?
Well, it must be one of these three, iron or zinc dust or powdered coal, because it's dark. It's black.
That's right. All right, well, that's a pretty good guess, and later on we're going to try burning every one of these, because today you and I are going to investigate various aspects of fire, but I'm going to play tricks on you. In other words, you ask conundrums, you know, and word games and things like that. Well, I'm going to do the same thing with fire. Before we do that, let's start from the very beginning and investigate fire. Now, come on over here. Here's where I've set up a bunch of the stuff to do. Now, one of the first things here, you want to come around over here, because I want to show you how to work this fire extinguisher. Because we're going to be investigating fire, we must be prepared, because if it ever gets out of control, you know, we could burn the house down. Yeah. So therefore, every time you do any investigation with fire, you know, have ways of putting it out. Here's the fire extinguisher. Ever used one of these?
No, I never have.
Well, see, there's a pin up here. Yeah. You pull this pin out, and then push down on this lever. So you try it. In order to make it work, pull the pin out, like that, and now squeeze down on there. Like that.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Carbon dioxide
sprays out, yeah.
Sprays out and would blanket and smother the fire. So let's put that back here so we can get it.
Okay.
All right? Now, you want to go around over there so that you can hold this piece of wood, because we'll light it like that. And I want you to tell me now, what is fire?
Well, to have fire, you need to light it, like we do with the match, and you need the fuel, and you need oxygen for it to burn.
Okay. And you can put out a fire by taking any of those three things away, either the fuel, the oxygen or air, and by cooling it off. Now, is that a solid liquid or a gas that's burning there?
This is a solid that's burning. It's wood.
Okay. Now, here's a liquid. You touch that flame into there.
Oh, boy.
Okay. Now, what's burning? What is that?
Now it's a liquid.
Lighter fluid.
It's lighter fluid. It's a liquid.
Okay.
So we've seen it in a solid, and a solid can burn.
Here's a piece of glass. In order to put that fire out, we can take away the supply of oxygen. But before we do, let me turn this on. Okay, now put that fire out.
Well?
You took away the supply of oxygen, so it went out.
Now this is a gas, so now it's burning in a gas form. So now it's burned in all three.
All
solid,
three
liquid, and gas.
Okay, now that's the basic idea behind fire. Now I'm going to start playing the slight little tricks and see if I can fool you. Let's take this torch up here and put it under this flask. You see what's inside there?
It's wood.
Yeah, some wood, sawdust, and some of those same pieces of wood that you had.
So if it's wood, it should start on fire.
Should burn, all right. Certainly it's fuel. Now, as we begin to heat this thing up, trace what's going to happen to the fumes.
Well, the fumes, you can see them starting. It's starting to get cloudy. Yeah, and it goes up through here, down into this.
They're coming out here now, see?
Coming out in here, sure. It's starting to cloud up.
What this is for is to collect any liquid, because the liquid will drip down here, but there's a hole at the top, so what'll happen here?
Oh, and it's going out again, yeah, and it's running down this tube.
Watch that sleeve there. And see the bubbles?
The bubbles are coming out of it, so it's going down into the water now, out of the tube.
We're making gas out of wood.
Yeah.
Look, it's all cloudy now.
It's cloudy now, and there's the moisture on the outside.
Now, come on around over here, and let's collect some of that wood gas. And here's how you do it. Take the glass like this, fill it full of water, turn it upside down, and put it over that hole. And watch. See? Now, when it's ready, you take a piece of these glass and slip it under there, and then turn upside down and put it over here, and we'll collect
so then we'll have a whole glass full of it.
Have a glass full of wood gas.
Right.
Okay, that should probably do it. Yeah, that's the idea. Now, turn it upside down, put it over there.
There you go.
Okay, now do another one.
Now wait till this one. It's all black now over there,
Yeah,
and you can see it, but it hasn't
See the
started
liquid up in here, too?
burn yet, yeah.
That's bubbling away, so that's what this is for, to trap, to collect all the liquid, so we just get gas over here.
That's another one.
Okay, that's... Now this next one, okay, just fill it half full, and then let it sit right there.
Half full?
Yeah. Fill it all the way full of water, but just fill it half full of wood gas. Well, just leave it sit there. About like that? Okay. No, just leave it there. You can just leave it sit right there. Yeah, there.
Okay.
Now, here's the excess.
Yeah, it's still, yeah, you can
Still
see it
cooking.
coming out.
Now, the reason I want to take this out is as this cools down, it's going to condense in there and would suck up water in here.
Yeah, but there's
See?
only one, that thing didn't start to burn.
No.
It should start on fire. I mean, if you have a piece of wood.
Yeah.
Uh,
Can you
the
heat it
thing-
up that much?
Yeah, if you heat it up, gee, if I put a torch on it, we did it with this. with
Yeah,
this
you
piece.
burn it all right. All right, well, let's take this gas now that we've taken from the wood and changed into a gas. Let's set it on fire.
Okay.
What is it that we had to do here? We had to heat it up. All right, let's heat it up, but this time let's heat it up with a spark. See this over here?
Yeah.
Here is a transformer and a spark coil, and when I turn this on, yeah, I can get a spark
is
over there?
jumping in between them,
Okay, let's take each one over here on this asbestos, so in case it catches on fire, we will be able to work with it and control the fire. That's the wood gas. You want to get it, hold the spark down on the bottom of the wood gas, and I'll turn it on
Take this
all
off?
the way in. Yeah.
Gee, nothing's happening.
Okay,
Didn't light
now.
on fire. I don't know
No,
what's the
now
matter.
why not?
It must have been missing one of those three things.
Well,
It's
it's
missing either heat. Well, we have heat.
Yeah, the spark.
This. It has the fuel.
Yeah.
So it must be missing oxygen.
Okay, well, what do you suggest we do?
We'll have to give it some oxygen.
Okay, put the spark down below as you did before, and now this time pull it up.
Okay.
All right?
Oh, there it went.
See it catch on fire now?
Lit on fire. So
Yeah, just barely, though. Let's try this one from the top down once and see if that's any better, because a lot of that got out.
Right.
You ready?
Uh-huh. Oh, there it went. Oh, look, you can see it
Okay.
burning. This time it burned down instead
Okay.
of...
Now, let's, this time, remember that last one I had over here?
Uh-huh.
Let's fill it up with oxygen this time. And now, when I fill it up with oxygen, you want to hold it at the top here? I'm going to fill up the rest of it with oxygen. Now, do you think it should burn from the
It should
bottom up?
burn right from the
Right.
bottom up.
All right, let's try it.
Okay?
Yeah, I heard something bubbling there. Okay, now this time, just to be on the safe side, because you never know what's going to happen, here are some safety glasses.
All right.
Now, you want to stand back? Take the top off and then stand back, will you? Because I want to put this way down.
Okay. Wow, boy, that sounded like a firecracker or something.
Did burn this time, so you were absolutely right.
It certainly did,
All
yeah.
you needed was oxygen.
That was fast.
Okay, now we did that with gas that we got from solid.
Right.
Let's do the same thing now with gas that we get from a liquid. Here, you take that top off and smell of that?
Oh, it's gasoline.
Okay, now leave the top off, because I'm going to put this spark right down under the gasoline itself.
But the gasoline should explode. Because I know, you light a match to a gas tank and...
All right, let's try it. You'll see. I want to put
Gee,
those
that's
contacts a little closer together.
But I don't understand why it doesn't explode. Or at least not explode, but set on fire.
Well, what do you think is wrong?
Something's missing again.
What? Certainly has heat.
And it must be the... Oh, but it doesn't have any oxygen because this is underneath this and there's no oxygen down
Okay.
in the bottom
Okay,
there.
now I'll start raising it up. You tell me when, you notice when it catches on fire, so you tell me where the level of oxygen is.
All
Oxygen and gas mixed.
right.
Oh, wait a minute. When I do catch it on fire, you see that watch glass there?
Yeah.
You carefully put it on top. Don't tip it over, but put it on top to put out the fire to smother it.
Right.
Okay?
Should go on now.
Aha!
Wait a minute.
Ah.
There it is.
Okay.
Now, let's see.
Now, where was the layer of gas and air, the correct
It was
mixture?
right up at the
Way
top.
up at the top. Okay, now we've changed a solid into a gas. We've changed a liquid into a gas, obviously way up here, not down
Right,
here.
yeah.
Now let's try changing, or lighting just the plain gas. You know, this torch that we were using.
That's right.
Okay, would you fill that, let's fill these glasses full of this kind of gas.
Right.
Turn it upside down, just as you did before. Stick it under here like this, and we'll now fill it full of this kind.
Hold on to it. That was fast.
Okay.
Okay.
And I'll bring that over here again. Now, this time, do you think it'll work, it'll light from down below?
No, I think it'll light from up
Up
top.
above.
It
All right,
better.
well, I'll put the spark down below and bring it up this time.
Okay.
And you see when it catches on fire. Take it off again. See,
There
way
it
up
is.
the top again.
Right up at the top.
Okay,
'cause
now
then
why-
the air and the gas mixed together. It was the right mixture. So
And why did it go out?
Because we took away the oxygen when we put this on top.
Okay. So now, in each case, what we've done is we've taken the fuel, a solid, a liquid, and a gas, and put them all in gaseous form. Obviously, the gas was already in gaseous form. But we changed the wood into a gas and the liquid into a gas, and most people don't realize that when you light a fire, the reason you have to get the heat there is to change the fuel into a gas in order for it to combine with the gas oxygen in the air.
So you really need, it has to be
It has
gas
to be in
before
gas
you
form.
can burn
In
it.
fact, no fuel burns in solid form. It must change to gas form before it can
Before it
combine.
really starts to
And that's what, in fact, haven't you ever noticed in a fire place, when you look at the wood, that you can see little sort of gas burners jutting out from the wood as it
Yeah.
is changed to a gas?
Yeah,
Okay, well now here's the basic idea. Now I have the real tricks, the real puzzlers. These you solve pretty quickly, and these are kind of tricky, so you have to watch out. But none of them are done with exotic materials,
Okay.
just ordinary things. However, if you're going to do these at home, remember now, be very careful, because once a fire gets out of control, it can be extremely damaging and whatnot.
Yeah.
So don't play with this kind of stuff unless you have a fire extinguisher, and the proper, take the proper precaution. Now, you've ever seen this before?
It's a candle. I've seen it lots of times.
Lots of
sure.
times. All right. Ordinary candle. If you take a piece of screen, preferably copper screening, and hold it over here. Now, see how the candle is blowing that way? I'm going to shield it a little bit so that it won't blow like this.
Straight
And
up.
put this over the top, and look what you see.
There's a hole in the middle of the flame.
Yeah. Now, why? Why should there be a hole in the middle of a candle flame?
I don't know. It must be something with the wire. When you push down with the wire, it's like it squashes it or something.
Well, not really, although that's important, and we'll investigate that question in just a minute. First of all, why is there a hole in the middle of a candle flame?
I don't know. It isn't there usually.
Yes, it is. It's there all the time. Now, think. In order for the candle to burn, it has to have fuel, oxygen, and heat. Does it have fuel?
Fuel's the candle.
Okay.
The
Does it have heat?
Is the fire,
Right.
which we lit.
And in order to get oxygen, the oxygen has to flow up here from around in the air, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Okay, well, that means that all around the edge is where the oxygen is combining.
So really, there is.
A hole in the middle of a candle.
Although we just can't see it.
Right, let me see if I can show it to you again. There,
There
see
it
it?
is, right in the middle.
Right
sure.
in the middle of
And
the
all
candle.
this does is accentuate.
Mm-hmm.
And all, it's like you took off the top of it. That's why I
Yeah.
said like you squashed
Well,
it
now,
down.
would you get a match there and light it from this candle? And this time, you see that smoke that's coming up above?
Yeah.
Bring the match near.
Hey, look.
Now
It
what?
lit up on top
Now
of
you
the
can blow out
screen.
that match before it burns your fingers.
Okay.
How come it's burning now when it wasn't before?
I don't know. We must have heated it.
Now,
It was
that-
missing, so we added heat to it this
Right.
time.
Remember I told you when you light a fire, what you're doing is, getting it hot enough to burn and changing it to a
And
gas.
that's what we did.
So get another match and try it again, because what is happening, why should the candle flame stop at the screen?
Gee, I don't know. Now, that's a puzzler.
Well, the screen is really cooling off the flame. It's absorbing a lot of heat. And when you light it up again and heat it up, watch, I'll move it over to a cool part of the screen and watch what happens to the top part. See how it went out?
It goes up.
Yeah.
You mean that the screen itself is taking away the heat?
Right, taking away so much heat from the flame it puts it out.
Gee.
Now, here's a kind of a different way to do that. Let's move this candle over here to this tube. You can do this at home without the tube by simply blowing out the flame, but then the flame kind of goes off on one side. This time, I'm going to put this tube over here and put this block of wood on the top to turn it out, to smother it. You take a stick like this and use it as a match because it lasts longer than a match. As soon as I take the piece of wood away, you bring this over to the top of it.
All right.
All right? And watch what happens.
Hey, it dropped right down. It
Yeah.
looked like a piece of the fire came off and dropped
Okay, now what?
down.
Try it again.
Gee, I don't know what it was. I didn't touch the
Now
wood.
why?
Well, I don't know. It was almost like I lit the vapor that's rising, the gas is rising, like I heated that up.
Why did the flame go out in the first place?
Well, because we took away the air.
What we did is we
smothered
smothered it and allowed the carbon dioxide to get up here and finally put it out. So when I took it away, those hot fumes that were still there from the fire rose because of the convection currents, and you just lit them up on top.
And I lit them up on top.
Try it
of
again.
Gee, it's almost like it's dropping right
It is.
onto it. It's
You blow
amazing.
that up before you burn your fingers again.
All right.
You can hear. Now, as I say, when you do this at home, you don't necessarily have to have this tube. You can blow it out like this and, and try to touch it, but the flame goes all over, and all this does is keep it going nice and straight.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, there's another trick. That fooled you on that one,
Gee,
too.
that's
a good one, isn't it? Okay, now, remember, you have to be very careful with all this stuff if you try this at home so you don't burn yourself. Now, here are two pieces of tissue paper. They burn. Here's one.
Yeah, they sure do.
Yeah, they burn quite easily.
That one burned right up, yeah.
All right. No doubt that it's not asbestos tissue paper or anything?
No,
Right.
no, nothing special about it.
No, I meant asbestos tissue paper.
Oh, yeah. No, it'll burn.
Here's a piece of pipe. If I take that same piece of tissue paper...
Hey, it isn't burning. It's turning black, but...
Ooh! Ah, the guy got the horn in the flame.
Gee.
In fact, let me try it this way this time.
But it didn't burn the part that was near the pipe. Why not? I don't know. We just burned up the same
Okay, now what do
piece.
you... Why? Don't ask me.
Well,
I'm doing these puzzles for you. You're supposed to figure it.
It must be missing something.
Okay, what is it
again.
missing, do you think?
Well, it's got heat.
No.
It's got oxygen around.
Well, it's missing. Certainly we have
Wait a minute.
fuel. What do you think it is now?
Oh, could it be the same as before
What?
when now this time the pipe is taking away? It's taking away the heat,
If that's-
so it won't burn.
If that's the case, then we should be able to do this. Here's a piece of metal with holes in it.
Mhm.
Here's a piece of tape. If I put this on here like this, it's certainly going to have plenty of oxygen through the
Yeah.
holes, isn't it?
So it should burn.
If your theory is correct, should this paper burn here?
No,
Because this is going to cool it off?
that's right. This should take it away from it, so it won't burn. It's burning up the other part.
Certainly burns.
Boy,
doesn't
that's
it?
black smoke, yeah. But it stopped when it got to the side. So I guess,
Yeah, see it?
oh, when you feel it, it's hot, the metal.
Yes, the metal gets quite
So
hot.
It's taking away the heat from
Right,
it.
taking away the heat. Now, if that's the case, this is taking away the heat so much that the paper isn't burning. And the minute I take the...
There it goes.
Yeah, there it goes.
Whoops.
So this is a basis for kind of tricks, too. You can, put... Another trick is to put a $50 inside a handkerchief and put a cigarette against it, and it burns, and it won't burn the handkerchief, and things like that. All based on this idea that when you cool off a flame, normally things that will normally burn will not burn. See that?
Mm-hmm.
Plenty of holes in it.
That's right.
You sure that it could get plenty of air through there? Any kind of flame?
There's much air in it.
I want to straighten up the wick.
Hey, it
Gets
went
plenty
out.
of air.
You're smothering it.
No, I'm not smothering it. It could get plenty of air through the holes.
It must be the same as...
What?
Could it be the same thing that when you touch this there, that it takes the heat away from the flame?
Right. Same idea again. Only this time done in a spring form. In fact, this time I'll do it with a match. You watch the match now. Certainly you can get plenty of air through that spring, can't it?
Yeah. It's still burning in there. until you touch the sides of it, and then it takes the heat away.
It's still on. It's still on. See it?
Uh-huh.
But how I've cooled off the gases so much that it almost won't. Now, if well, I'll turn the match a little bit, you see, and cool it, and put it out.
And then it went on.
Yeah. So most people don't realize that fire has to be that hot. They think if it once gets going and you get plenty of air and plenty of fuel, it'll keep on going. And in fact, most people don't also realize that when firemen use water to put out a fire, this is what the water really does. It cools off the fuel so it won't burn anymore.
Oh, is that why water is a good thing?
Okay, well now you did pretty well on those puzzles. This time the flour and cornstarch and various other things over here.
Okay.
You decided that the one that was making all the 4th of July fireworks is one of these black ones. So let's save those, all right?
Okay.
Let us now try flour, cornstarch, sugar, and lycopodium. Before we start, let's explain how we're going to do this. Take about 1/4 teaspoon or so of the powder. We'll put it in this sieve like this, and then you do like this to get it to drop down like this.
All right.
Oh, okay, you ready? You take the flour first. Now, before we do it, do you think flour is going to be pretty good fuel?
No, I don't think so, because, you know, we use it at home a lot, and we bake pies with it. We put it in a hot oven, so
Yeah.
it certainly doesn't burn.
Then it doesn't, you don't
Doesn't
ordinarily
catch on
expect,
fire, yeah.
you don't expect bread to burst in a flame, do you?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, try it once.
Hey, but it is, look. It isn't the one that I saw, but it's sure going into sparks.
Yeah.
So I guess it must. I don't know.
Well, now, why should something that you ordinarily think of as being non-flammable, why should it burn when you do it this way?
Well, we've added something to it again, so we've had the heat. We must be adding oxygen to it again.
Well, how can we add oxygen to it? We don't have any extra oxygen here, do we?
Well, all around, but...
Why do I have you put it in a sieve and do it this way?
Oh, because when it's packed together, there isn't much room for the oxygen, really.
Let's try it again. This time, just jump the 1/4 teaspoon over right through the flame and see what happens.
Nothing.
Okay, now, but when you do it this way,
Oh, so when we put it... Wow. When we put it through the sieve... Oh, it's coming right up. When we put it through the sieve, though, it gets smaller, and the oxygen can get around all the pieces of it.
okay. In fact, this is a problem in flour mills very often because they have to be sure that the air isn't full of powdered flour and could get ignited and therefore burn. In fact, if you stop to think about it, you shouldn't be surprised because flour is used as a form of fuel for us to eat.
That's right. It
Yeah.
is.
How about cornstarch?
Well, flour worked. I guess cornstarch does, too.
All right.
Yep, there it goes.
Even better than the flour.
Yeah, it works even best. It still isn't the one, though.
No, it isn't the one with the
No.
4th of July.
That's right. But it does work good. But when you drop it again, it doesn't work.
Now, how about sugar?
Well, that'll work very well.
Okay.
That'll probably be the best yet. Hey, nothing
Matter.
at all. Hardly.
Why not?
Gee, that one... I don't
Put
know.
some on the top of the torch right there.
Hey,
Now it works good, but when you do it in front, it doesn't. Now, what's the difference?
well, I guess there's time to get smaller when it's up there.
Well, what did we have to have in order to have it burst into flame? It had to be
Lots
changed
of
to a what?
oxygen. To a gas.
It had to be changed to a gas and had to get plenty of oxygen. How big is the grain of sugar compared to flour?
Well, flour
Quite.
infinitesimal, yeah, there's a big difference.
Well, it's quite small anyway. Yes. So evidently the sugar is dropping right through like the teaspoonful of flour. But when you why should it burn when you put it on there?
Well, it's very hot. It turns into a gas.
It melts,
It
as a matter of
melts.
fact. That's right. See that?
It does,
And burns
yeah.
quite easily. So sugar is not nearly as inflammable as cornstarch or flour. How about lycopodium? You know anything about that?
Well, no, I don't know what they use it for, but...
Well, in fact, if you don't mind, I'd like to try it this time because I think you may be surprised. And I won't even need that. Watch.
Wow. That certainly is the...
It's certainly inflammable, isn't it?
Yeah, let it go. Well, I guess it's because it's very fine, this stuff. It's
Well,
brown.
yes, that's right. It's the spore of a moss and is quite fine. But watch, I'll light this piece of wood.
Oh, but still, when it was packed together, there wasn't enough oxygen to
Right.
turn into a
Now, would you
fire.
like to try it? Just be very careful. And... Yeah, very
Wow.
So Lycopodium was certainly the best of all these, wasn't
Yeah,
it?
it sure was.
Now, how about these three? Let's try coal.
Well, coal will be a good burner because we use it for fuel.
Okay, here you are. Go ahead. You can sprinkle it. I'll get the next one ready.
Oh, it doesn't burn very well, does
Yeah,
it?
why not?
Well, it doesn't work when you do that either.
No.
Is it because these pieces are so big? I
Well,
mean, you can almost
partly that, and partly you have to get coal quite hot. As you know, when you try to burn coal, what do you have to do to it?
Well, you have to first light your match and sometimes light wood, and the wood ignites.
All right, in order to get it hot enough. In this case, I don't think it's hot enough. Here's a different spoon. Now, this is the zinc. Try that. What do you think that's going to be like?
This should be a good, give a good flame, I think.
Okay.
Oh, it's green.
Yeah.
It's bright green.
And yet that's a metal. I think that's kind of surprising. Was that
Yeah.
the final, the good one, though?
No, I wasn't the one, though.
What's left?
Iron.
Iron.
But iron is certainly a metal.
You make stoves out of it, as a matter of
That's
fact, don't
right.
you? Yet when you have it in powdered form, like this, here.
Happy New Year!
Yeah, that's the one,
it.
all right, isn't it?
That's the one. Boy, and look at it light up. So that certainly is the one, even though it's an iron.
Yes. Now, why should it burn? What have we found out? Why should it burn?
Well, because we put oxygen in it, and
We've made it in
heat
fine
fuel.
form so it can
That's
get
right.
oxygen, and it's obviously hot enough,
That's right.
and
So,
therefore it'll combine with...
That's right.
In fact, what you really are doing is making it rust very fast. It's because iron combines with oxygen, isn't
is
it?
that what gives it bright?
Well, no, we're really oxidizing and making
Yeah.
it burn. Okay, well now, I'll give you some more to do, but first now tell me, what is it that we need? What did we find out about what we need for a fire?
We need heat, we need the fuel,
And?
Well, we need oxygen.
And oxygen,
Is the
okay.
thing.
And what happened, when did we take away the oxygen, you remember?
Well, when we took away the oxygen.
Over there with the
well,
gasoline.
With the gasoline, we took it away, and so it wouldn't ignite until we got to a certain point where the gas and
Yeah.
the air combined.
Right. And even though the spark was there and was very hot.
That's right.
Only when we got the two together.
And then when we had the screen and the candle,
Yeah.
the screen took away the heat, and it wasn't until we kind of took away the screen or gave it back its heat that it
Right.
would light again, so
Yeah.
it went out.
And in this case, we found out that things that we ordinarily don't think of as burnable will burn because we gave them one heat, and what was the other most important thing?
Oxygen.
Because we had them in fine enough form, yeah.
Right.
Well, try it again now.
Okay.
See, this is my favorite of all, and by the way, you shouldn't have been too surprised because you've seen these same kind of sparks before in sparklers.
This really is
And that's
4th
what
of
makes
July,
the
huh?
sparks and sparklers, that's right.
There it goes.
So you can make almost anything burn or combine with oxygen if you give it enough heat and oxygen.
Right.